On the news tonight, security beefed up at Kano State Government House amid speculation of Governor Abba Yusuf's planned defection. Osun State Government debunks reports of massive payments to ghost workers, accusing consulting firm of deceptive move. Edo State High Court remands youths involved in Ekoma protest amid insecurity row. On the foreign scene, Donald Trump says U.S. may meet Iranian officials as to weighs range of responses to violent crackdown on Iranian protests. Good evening, this is News at 7 on Western Spring Television. My name is Okpayamuni. Security has been tightened at the Kano State Government House amid speculation of Governor Abba Yusuf's planned defection. At the main entrance, combined security personnel drawn from the Nigeria Police Force and the Department of State Services (DSS) were stationed on Monday at strategic locations. Access to the Government House was subjected to strict identification procedures by operatives. Security checks were also intensified, with access subjected to strict identification procedures by operatives. The heightened tension coincides with growing speculation about a disagreement between Governor Yusuf and his political mentor, Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso, who is the leader of a new Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, has opposed Yusuf's alleged plan to defect to the All Progressives Congress, APC, warning that such a move would destabilize the NNPP and undermine the Kwankwasia movement. Former Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose has declared that the People's Democratic Party, PDP, is no longer Nigeria's leading opposition party, pointing to internal divisions as the party's undoing. He also singled out former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi as a key political figure to watch ahead of the 2027 elections, noting that his defection to the African Democratic Congress, ADC, has given the party more relevance. Fayose made comments in an interview with Arise News while discussing the state of opposition politics, the PDP's internal struggles, and the rising influence of other political platforms. On why the PDP has lost its dominant position, Fayose placed the blame on internal weaknesses rather than the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. It dismissed suggestions that the party's woes were linked to President Bola Tinubu.
We must be very honest. When you are weak, tendencies are there for you to fall to the right of the stronger side. The challenges in the PDP, it's not the fault of Asiwaju, the president. No. The failure in my home, God forbid, is not the fault of my neighbor. The issues are very clear. The PDP caused themselves an insurrection. This is a house that divided against itself. And the nature of man is survival of the fittest. There are two dominant parties at a given time. Are we saying ADC is not dominant? Recently, Obi moved there. And I've said it, Obi is the only life in ADC.
There are other people there. Excuse me. Amechi is there.
I never said they are not human beings there. I'm saying they are largely spent forces. Let Obi don't go to ADC. Let Obi go to another party. Let's say Obi is in Accord. Accord will become.
Is there?
Excuse me, I'm saying it to be. Obi is the only traction. Obi is the only meaning. Obi is the only factor. Obi is the only person in ADC that matters. And if Obi had not gone to ADC and has gone when Obi went to Labour that would never know became one election to House of Rep. I'm not saying Obi will win this election. I'm not saying Obi will not win this election. But I'm telling you, even if they don't feed Obi, if ADC fails to feed Obi, their case will be worse than they are coming together.
Osun State Government has disclosed that the consulting firm, which conducted its staff auditing exercise, deliberately misled it on the number of ghost workers just to maximize profit. The Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment, Kolakpo Alimi, made it known in an interview on Western Spring Television on Monday, following controversies trailing the staff audit row. It will be recalled that the firm, Salitibot Consulting Nigeria Limited, through its counsel, claimed that it helped the state government discovered 8,448 workers and 6,713 retirees as ghosts drawing salaries and pension fraudulently. However, Alimi revealed that the state government carried out an in-depth analysis of the report and discovered that out of a total number of 8,448 workers declared by StarTimes Consulting Nigeria Limited as unseen workers, 8,015 were active workers, while 433 workers were found to be unreachable. The Commissioner for Information also accused StarTimes Consulting Nigeria of wanting to reap where it did not sow, while criticizing the development. Public affairs analyst and the former Social Democratic Party gubernatorial candidate Gokomi Bodu described the situation as a clear case of bad governance, questioning the rationale behind the spending. He argued that proactive internal mechanisms could have been adopted to prevent the financial losses in the first place. It will be recalled that the firm has engaged to conduct staff auditing in April 2023, during which labor unions and pensioners' bodies accused the firm of conducting a shoddy job with a view to maximizing profit and deliberately sidelining workers and pensioners with health conditions.
Most of the people that were discovered to be ghost workers, they were coming around. When I discovered that what happened was that the woman had timetable for the exercise, and that immediately anybody fails to go within that period, if it says that social military should come by 9, and due to one reason or the other, certain category of workers could not meet that time, the job will be shut against them. And so we discovered that the job was actually not thorough, not because of the fact that the company lacked the capacity, but because of the fact that the payment to be paid to StarTimes was actually based on percentage of the amount saved for the government. Let me repeat it.
Okay.
The payment, we agree on 15% of the amount saved. 15% of the amount saved. And so we discovered that the woman was actually working to get a greater number of workers to be described as ghost workers, so that the amount to be saved will be huge, and the percentage, the amount of money that she will get will be huge. The government has told her that we welcome the FCC and ICPC, and we have told her even before to bring her team and those teams that work to harmonize.
To me, this is an issue of bad governance. Let's call a spade a spade, because there are alternative approaches to getting things done that could have saved Osun State government and people all of the embarrassment and all of the spending that we are having on this issue, because already now we are having a lot of double spending and a lot of embarrassment going with it. We didn't have to go along the path of patronage and percentage, because from what you have heard from the Honorable Commissioner himself, if you put everything in short, it's about patronage and percentage.
The security suspected bandits have reportedly attacked a wedding convoy at Ngwar Nagunda community in the Kankara local government area of Katsina State, killing at least 2 people, with several others, including the bride, injured. During the attack, which occurred on Sunday night, an unspecified number of wedding guests were said to have also been abducted. It was gathered that residents reported heavy gunfire and widespread panic upon the arrival of the bandits in the community on Sunday night. The attack comes at a time when the state government was making plans to release 70 detained suspected bandits as part of measures to consolidate what is described as the existing peace deal between banditry-affected communities and repentant bandits in the state. The government said the deal had led to the release of at least 1,000 persons held captive by suspected bandits in different attacks. On January 2, 2026, an official letter came to the open detailing the state government's plan to secure the release of the suspected bandits currently facing criminal trials for their involvement in banditry. The Rivers State Police Command has arrested a 26-year-old man identified as Good News Iberi for kidnapping and killing a 25-year-old girl along the Umuahua axis of the East-West Road in the state. The police said the suspect, which with his gang now at large, had lured the girl, identified as Rita Eleonu, before taking her into an evil forest. The spokesperson for the command, Grace Iringa Koko, disclosed this in a statement issued in Port Harcourt on Monday. According to Iringa Koko, the miscreants subsequently kidnapped the girl and immediately contacted her family, who paid a 210,000 naira ransom to secure her freedom. Unknown to them, the suspects later killed the girl for suspected ritual purposes and buried her in a shallow grave in an evil forest before fleeing. In other news, the Edo State High Court Criminal Court 2 has ordered the remand of some youths involved in the protest that rocked the Ekpoma area of a stage at the Ubiaja Correctional Center. This followed the plea of the prosecution for a 14-day remand period. Some of the protesters and their relatives who were present at the court wailed as those arrested were moved into a waiting vehicle. Angry youths at last weekend demonstrated against the spate of kidnapping and other forms of insecurity in the town located in the Esan West local government area. The viral video showed some residents in the Edo Central region of the state protesting the rising kidnappings and killings. The video also showed some people suspected to be cattle breeders fleeing a market upon sighting some protesters. Meanwhile, the police authorities in Edo State have dismissed reports suggesting that a police station was gutted by fire in Ekpoma, describing the reports as false and misleading. In a statement on Monday, the Edo State Police Command said no police facility or station was affected by fire in Ekpoma. According to the command spokesperson, Eno Ekwedem, the viral videos in social media were calculated to misinform the public and cause panic. The command clarified that the actual incident occurred on Sunday morning at the Power Shops area within the Ekpoma division. Ekwedem said police personnel working with members of the public swiftly intervened to contain and extinguish the fire, preventing further escalation. While noting that no life was lost, the command said the value of property damage was yet to be ascertained. In Lagos State, operatives of Lagos State Environmental Task Force have arrested 7 suspected robbers allegedly operating on top of a Bolade Bridge in Oshodi, following actionable intelligence and sustainable surveillance. The arrest was disclosed on Monday in a post on X by the Lagos State Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab. Commenting on the operation, Wahab said the arrest forms part of the state's ongoing security and environmental enforcement drive. He stressed that public infrastructure must not be ceded to criminal elements, noting that bridges, highways, and pedestrian routes must remain safe for law-abiding Lagosians and not havens for crime. According to him, the suspects have been taken into custody and will be processed in line with extant laws. Psychological vulnerability, accessibility barriers, and policy weaknesses have been identified as some factors that place elderly citizens in Nigeria at heightened risk. This is according to the Social Network Research Group of Bafemi Awolowo University, Ife, Osun State, which stated that the formal and institutional support system for elderly people in Nigeria remain inadequate. The group disclosed that this while presenting the research dissemination program on social support networks and quality of life of octogenarians in Nigeria. Speaking during the program, the principal investigator and the host, Professor Adepeju Omotosho, said a study was conducted between 2021 and 2023 and looked at the quality of life of the elderly citizens. Omotosho, who said the research was sponsored by the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, added that the study was done in 4 states, Osun, Oyo, Benue, and Imo. Speaking further, Professor Omotosho said the findings demonstrate that family-based social support remains the backbone of octogenarians' quality of life in Nigeria. Providing recommendations, the lead investigator said strengthening family support, community-based care, and targeted well-funded policy interventions is essential to safeguarding the dignity and well-being of Nigeria's old She also called for improved access to healthcare services, promotion of economic empowerment through income-generating activities, and fostering community engagement and elderly-friendly infrastructure. A member of the team, Dr. Akinjide Akintomide of the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, said the study identified substantial policy and implementation gaps in Nigeria's approach to elderly care. Still to come, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in Ebonyi State says its operatives arrested 157 suspects and seized a total of 134.483 kilograms of illicit drugs in the state. We'll bring you more on this when we return.